My name is Leo.
I'm Natalia.
Mark.
Michael.
Roger.
Diana.
When I was diagnosed, I was 49 years old.
I was 20 when I received my diagnosis.
55, which is 13 years ago.
A couple of days shy of my 63rd birthday.
When I was first diagnosed, I was 20 years of age.
59 when I found out I had lymphoma.
The second diagnosis, I was 48 years of age.
I've got a non-hodgkin's type. It's called small lymphocytic lymphoma, SLL.
I was diagnosed with a subtype of lymphoma called Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia.
A low-grade follicular.
Classical Hodgkin's lymphoma.
The diffuse large B-cell lymphoma.
Burkitt's lymphoma.
Now, when I was diagnosed in the specialist centre, they thought initially it was going to be a diagnosis of multiple myeloma. But after further blood tests, they said, no, it's probably Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia.
They gave me the specific diagnosis a week after I was told that I had lymphoma.
They explained to me that I had the common cold of cancers, and that's all they told me.
I can't remember if I was told straight away what they thought it was, but within a week I'd been told that it was the SLL.
And it wasn't till 20 years later that for some reason they'd kept that particular specimen, and the haematology doctor found it, and he checked it, and they'd done their diagnosis, and that's when they realised that I'd had Hodgkin's lymphoma at that age at 20, and then obviously the diffuse large B-cell lymphoma in 2010.
I had heard of my subtype before my diagnosis. The only reason that I had was because my university friend had actually been diagnosed with exactly the same Hodgkin's lymphoma as me a month before.
I'd never heard of this subtype of lymphoma, and I barely knew what lymphoma was anyway.
I'd heard the name. I didn't know anything really about it. I assumed it was to do with lymph glands and so on.
I'd never heard of this. The only word that stuck in my mind at the time was cancer.
During my consultation, when I was told which lymphoma I had a specialist nurse in the room as well as my consultant, who, after I'd been told what was going on and what the plan was, gave me a lymphoma leaflet which was specific to Hodgkin's lymphoma, which explained the symptoms, the causes.
It was things like what was the problem, the nature of the treatment, how long it was likely to last, would it affect diet, future illness, could it come back later on, and how long, what form would the treatment take, things of that sort.
At the time I was in hospital, so in a way it was a bit lucky really, because they gave me the pamphlet on lymphoma, which I read up, and they also gave me some material on the chemotherapy that I would be receiving, so I could read up on that, side effects, etc.
I was encouraged to ask a lot of questions, and I think it was much easier me asking the questions, getting the answers I wanted, rather than being overloaded with too much information.
The only additional information I was given was how to spell the disease, and then I was told to go away and take some tablets.
I don't know how clearly it was explained. I'm not sure I was particularly interested at that stage. I just wanted to get rid of it.
It's very difficult to explain a different subtype because, again, I think a lot of people like myself will only think of the word cancer.
Assuming it's somebody who hasn't got the faintest idea, I'd simply say it's a form of cancer of the immune system.
I'd say it's the subtype I have attacks your immune system, and it can form in any part of your body or several parts of your body.
I don't think I could explain the subtype to anyone else. I don't know enough about it.
It's complex, and lots of people have lots of different symptoms, but basically it's a blood cancer, and it's caused by defective white blood cells in the bone marrow.
A blood cancer, one that's linked to the lymphatic cells in your blood, which is well treated and has a good prognosis, and which is very common in my age group.
My subtype is quite common. I'm told it's a treatable cancer and responds reasonably well to chemotherapy.
When I was initially diagnosed, they said it was very rare, and I'd be very lucky to ever meet anybody from who had the disease in the centre, and I never did.
I believe mine's more of the common type.
I don't know how common my form is.
My type of lymphoma is a common type.
Now I'm at a specialist teaching hospital where they have a couple of Waldenstrom clinics every week. I do meet lots of other patients, and we all know each other and talk to each other online as well.